First few hundred miles after engine rebuild, breaking the engine in, seating the rings, new gearbox install, testing that out. So a few unrelated issues that actually turned out might be related. I was in London all week last week with the car here in the garage, and I came back to a completely dead battery. So there's a draw somewhere. We got to find that. But it was completely dead. It's almost like the ECU or something was reset because the shift issue went away. So that shift issue was that when I was driving down the road, no matter what indicator the sport knob was in, it wasn't downshifting. Now, granted, I got bikes. I have race shift. I have normal shift. And is that upshift? Is that downshift? Or vice versa? I might have been doing it wrong. But at least it should have upshifted, even if I was trying to downshift, and it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't doing anything in any mode. But the whole car reset. Now it's running. So I couldn't be happier. Start off in a second. We are in all the way left, automatic. So let me clarify a few things and add myself an intro, why don't we? This is an R34 with a rebuilt engine and a new gearbox, and we're testing this thing out for the troubleshooting team, the race garage that is working on this, and I appreciate you guys. So I have owned this car for the last 3 years out here in Europe, and I have wanted to have content here at Rockstar's Footage Factory showing this Skyline. But the car hasn't ran for the last 3 years. Only within the last 2 weeks has been up to speed. But the shop has put it in a limp mode, not able to exceed 5,000 RPMs for my protection, so I don't blow the engine. But what I am able to do is show how the gear shifts are. Me as the customer, I'm able to identify some issues so I can take it back to the shop and say, there's a battery issue, there's a battery draw issue, there's a battery light illumination while driving. But me as the customer, I'm able to remove the shoddy wiring that the last owner did as he installed whatever Japanese radio. I'm removing all the wires, I'm identifying what the wires are, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of what is either grounding out, what is shorting, and I'm able to put miles on this thing. This Skyline is still a work in progress. You can see a new computer unit display. Going back to what the issue was, the shifting issue, when the sport knob was in automatic, the car shifted good. Automatic, no big deal, up and down through the gears. But when I tried to manually override it, no matter what setting it was in, downshifting, it wasn't doing it. So I'm trying to re-simulate the issue in this video, but everything seems to be working fine. So I have about a mile of driving before I turn left and hit the highway and start cycling through the gears manually. But before we get there, we'll talk about a few things, including rear end gear ratio, because when I left, the shop told me it's roughly around 410s, 411 gear ratio. And I tell you what, this thing, and it makes sense now why you started off in second gear, because even second gear is too low. I could be at the top overdrive. I mean, I clocked it at 75 miles an hour at 3,000 RPMs at the highest overdrive. And for comparison's sake, I went to Tremec's RPM gear ratio calculator, and that RPM in their Magnum 6-speed, that's 5th gear right there. And the reason I bring this up is because there's a new robust LSD axle gear swap coming in the near future, and we're going to need to program the ECU to that upgraded LSD. But let's, Cletus McFarland, get to the live action as we start shifting this thing on the highway, starting off in sport mode, clicked all the way to the left, as we determine what every mode does and what we will want it to do, what we want it to program at a later date. upshifting and downshifting. So let's see how fast. Just downshifting. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I see it actually shifts a lot faster. So downshift. I think it's kind of slow. Kind of slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll let this guy pass me. Downshift. Downshift. Does it seem faster? Same to you? Does it now seem the same? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Downshift. 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 Seems the same to you?
Yeah.
Rewatch that in the video. Seems. It's almost like it comes out of gear. Yeah, when you put it in all the way over. Yeah, it is in a neutral. Yep. All the way over to the right is definitely a neutral. That's all right. Got the battery light. Everything else is good though. I think. Everything else look good to you?